hoarding right now. Right where your hand is really oversaturated.
Okay.
So just be wary of that.
Alright, YouTubers, I decided to do a bit of a different video today. I normally don't appear on screen, mainly because usually what I'm videoing is not me. It's usually something I'm doing. So I wanted to do this for a while. I kind of have been hoarding stuff since Christmas. So maybe the title of today's video would be Christmas to February haul. It's just stuff that I kind of wanted to maybe go over a little bit, and stuff that maybe you'd be interested in owning yourselves. So it could be kind of a unboxing slash explanation video. So some of this stuff I got for Christmas, some of it I've been collecting over the last couple months and haven't had time to use it because I've been working so much at my job. So I think maybe the first thing I'll show you guys is this nut and bolt measuring tool. I got this off of Amazon. By the way, none of this stuff, I'm not sponsored by any of these people, and I guess I'm supposed to say that. So I got this nut and bolt measure. We have lots of buckets of nuts and bolts in the shop that probably should be thrown away, but I had kind of an idea that I was going to go in there and sort some of them, because some of them are actually like Allen head or star head, and they're harder to find. So basically this is just a measuring tool off Amazon. It's got all of the inch holes to check different bolts, different sizes. It's got a place to check the length of the bolt. It measures in both directions. It measures 4 inches this way from this end, and then 2 inches this way from the notch. And then at the top here it measures in 120 millimeters this direction and 60 millimeters this direction. And then again, these holes up here are metric. And then for nuts, it's got these pins on the end here that you can check sizes for coarse and fine. So coarse is I don't know if you guys can see it real well. Let's see if I can find the big one here. So Unified National Coarse is the top shoulder here, and then your fine pitch threads is the bottom part. It's got a little step in it, and so you can check coarse and fine pitch nuts. And so I've been meaning to get that tool for a while. It's also got a thread pitch gauge on the back for metric and American common sizes. I'm sure all those sizes are not on here, but it's a quick verification. Don't know how well these actually work. They don't look like they're pretty rounded over. You know, it might be a super fast verification, but for anything fine like 0.7 or 40 threads per inch, I doubt you could actually measure the threads. So this is the first thing, thread measure. Been waiting to have this for a while out in the shop, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of bolt or nut I've got in my hand. So I'll set that aside. And these things come from various places. Got another one off of Harbor Freight, or excuse me, not Harbor Freight, Amazon. And this was rated pretty well. It's a, I'm going to mess this pronunciation up, guys. Stallwell, I think that's it. It's a thread pitch gauge, and it has pretty much all the sizes, I would imagine, for standard threads. It's got metric from 6 threads per inch all the way down to, oh, is that metric? Yeah, 0.125. So 6 to 0.125 in this set. And then if I pull this set out here, we go, these might be, I'm not sure. These are well, it says it's, the two types are Whitworth, which is a 55-degree thread pitch, and then  which I'm assuming means metric since this thing's made in Germany. These threads I don't recognize. 18G 5/16 down to, or up to 4G 2 1/4, 2 1/2. That's a thread pitch I'm not familiar with, so I didn't actually plan on using that portion of it. And then the other threads go, let's see here, they go all the way from 1 thread per inch. Let's see, where did this one stop? 1.25. This goes from 1 thread per inch down to, or 1 thread per inch. This is metric, I'm sorry. So these are metric pitches. Number 1 down to, let's see, what's the smallest one they got on here? 0.25, which is so small. I don't know that I've ever seen a thread that small. That's like watchmaker. That's, I think that's 0.25. I don't know how they do metric threads. I just know that that is tiny. I've never seen a thread that small. So I got this, picked this up off of Amazon. I'm going to have to also pick up something for SAE or American or Imperial for all you English guys that get upset when I say American. So there's that. We were looking for ice, something to keep ice from melting. So we got these for like soda. I don't drink alcohol. These are actually for liquor, I believe. But I got them for my Mountain Dew. And basically they're these rubberized balls that you fill up with water. And you fill up this half and then you put this on and fill the rest of it up through the hole. And they make round ice cubes. Nice big round ice cubes. This brand happens to be Chills Extreme. We also have a square one in the freezer that works okay. My biggest complaint with the square one is the ice cubes are hard to get out, but this round one's great. I'm sure these will work wonderful. Haven't had a chance to try them out yet. Wanted to show you guys these before I threw them in the freezer. So we'll get those out of the road. Over here in the finished pile. So some of this is from Harbor Freight. I didn't have, I didn't have a large square for beams, and sometimes I work with larger lumber. A while back we were doing fencing and we were doing 8x8 posts, so this would have been handy for that. I didn't actually have it at the time. Went and got this from Harbor Freight. I'm going to actually check the run out on it when I get a chance on my mill, on my little easy mill. But this is, to me, this is a beam square. You know, it's for doing large timber, and of course everything at Harbor Freight's real cheap, so you know, you get what you expect. But some of the stuff at Harbor Freight I'm pretty happy with. I know it's not snap-on or whatever. In this case it's not a fancy square, but it'll work. It'll do the job that I want it to do. So this is pretty straightforward. It's got all the markings on it that you'd normally be used to, Hip and Valley, your degrees, your common studs here. Let's see, scribe notches. I think maybe that is, oh right, you can put a pencil in there for different sizing. So I think this thing's handy. I'm going to heat this sticker up and get it the rest of the way off, but I'm glad I got this. It's going to go out in the shop with my other squares. I got these welding gloves. Actually, the funny thing is not for welding. So we do a lot of fence work here on the property, and Harbor Freight's welding gloves are cheap and they've got a long cuff. And so we deal with a lot of blackberries here out in the Northwest. And then also we've got some old fencing that's barbed wire. And so last time we worked with the barbed wire along with the blackberries, I just got annihilated. So I thought, well, these have a long cuff on them, and when you get them new, they're nice and soft. They're easy, you know, they're just fine to wear as work gloves. Alright, so got these gloves from Harbor Freight, and like I said, I think they're going to work really well for work gloves for fencing and doing outside work with the blackberries. So enough about those. I'm also, so I'll actually do these two things at once. I'm redoing a bunch of stuff on my GTI, my Volkswagen Rabbit GTI, and I'm replacing the brake booster. And it just so happens that if you buy from Harbor Freight, it's not going to come with the wrench you need. Harbor Freight comes with 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 19, and 22 millimeter. Volkswagen uses 9 and 11, so neither one of those are included in here. So just an FYI, if there's any Volkswagen guys out there, go on Amazon and get what you need. But I'm still glad I have them. I just need to get an extra wrench that's a 911. And then I'm also doing the steering rack. I'm going to convert it over to power steering because I'm old and I want it to steer easy. So I'm actually converting it to power steering from manual. So I picked up this Gear Wrench universal ball joint separator. It's lifetime guarantee, Amazon. I have a Volkswagen specific one, but it cracked in the middle from years and years of use, so I'm going to see if this works. So I got that, picked that up off of Amazon. We went camping a while back in Florida, and we were there during their lightning and thunderstorm season, apparently, didn't know that. And our tent got soaked, like just demolished. Like 2 inches of water in a couple seconds. So one of the things I wish I would have had was some waterproofing on the tent, or had purchased a waterproof tent. So I picked up this, I went online and was looking around, and I'm actually going to try it out on my boots, but they have some for fabric for tents. It's Rust-Oleum Never Wet, and it was rated pretty highly on Amazon. This one here is for boots and shoes, so I'm going to try it out on my work boots. But they also have a formula for tents that I'm going to try out too. Just thought I'd pick this one up first. So this is Amazon. Let's see. I picked up some tip files, small and large Hobart tip files. The case sucks on these. It's aluminum. It bends really easy. I actually had the pin, so I'll show you guys real quick. The reason I picked these up wasn't for welding. I actually needed a file for my paint gun, for my automotive paint gun. So it came in really handy for that. The lame thing about these is this pin that these hinge on, this case is aluminum. And so this little holding pin here has a spring in it, and it's two-piece, and it's supposed to expand between these two aluminum dimples that are put in here. First time I used it, it popped right out. I had to kind of massage it. In fact, what I'm eventually going to do is actually just put a screw through there. Note to Hobart, if you're watching, make this thing out of steel, or put a screw through there or something, because this came out and these things were a mess. I had to put them all back in order, and I just, you guys are supposed to be kind of #1 guys, so make a product that's that you're proud of. So this aluminum case sucks. The files worked great, however. Was able to clean up my my automotive sprayer head that had clogged up. I was shooting some Cerakote, and that stuff's hard on guns. So let's see, what else do I got? I think we'll go to this next. Is there anything else? Yeah, I got these two. Just going to try to get in shape, and one of the things I want to do is start taking vitamins and some other stuff regularly. Some stuff because I'm overweight, I've got kind of pre-diabetes, so I'm going to start taking cinnamon every day, and some soluble fiber, and for 10% off for life. All right. Have to check that out. So the reason I like these and I got them was they're large. Got them off of Amazon. Got them from a company called Survive Vitamins. and I'll have to do a review on them. But I got them because they've got this little push button pop top thing. We'll see how that works. It seems to be pretty strong. It won't pop off without that being open. But I got extra large ones because vitamins tend to be bigger than medicine. I don't take medicine. So these are made specifically to hold larger pills. And I got 2 weeks worth. I'm a creature of habit, and when I don't have things prepared, I tend to kind of go off the rails. So like if I don't have, I've been drinking this zero calorie sparkling ice instead of Mountain Dew. And if I don't have that available in my fridge, I tend to go get a Mountain Dew. And so I'm trying to develop better habits. So got some pill holders for my vitamins. Trying to get that going. Let's see here. What's the next thing? Vitamins. I got these travel adapters, and I think I'm gonna check the camera here. Alright, so we're going to go to China, and I really should actually do a separate video on this. I may or may not. So quickly, these are travel adapters. One is an actual converter and one's just a straight adapter. I don't really know a whole lot about them. I know that they supposedly work for China. China's 50 hertz, but they've got their plugs are similar to ours, American plugs. They got 2 prongs, but they're 50 hertz. So this thing's got a slider for EU, which looks like that. Let's see here. This thing's, come on. Oh, you gotta press them in. Okay, UK. This guy here. Australia, is that all the way out? Yep, just checking. Obviously, United States is that. And then there's all the female plugs on this side. This one's cool. It also came with USB plugs. So that's that little guy there. And I'll probably do a proper unboxing of that later to go along with some of the explanation about going to China. So. And then there's this one. That one didn't have a brand. This one says Do Ace. Do Ace. I don't know what that means. Where's... Pulling the stickers off here, guys. Sorry. So this one is actually supposed to do is supposed to be a power inverter, and it comes in a nice little case. That's cool. This one, let's see, also has USA, Europe, and the United Kingdom, and you just switch between them. There's different plugs. This actually converts from 100 volt AC to 220, depending on where. It's either an adapter or a converter. So if you're in a country that has 220, 240, it will actually convert it. UK's there. Let's see. Maybe I should switch it to Europe. Yeah, this one's not as, I'm not as impressed. So this is Europe here. I'm guessing that's UN. And then UK is up here, and then Australia is, what do they got that under Europe? Why won't they? Oh, they got it under USA. So you can't deploy the plug unless you've got it under the correct setting. And so far I'm not real impressed with this thing here. There we go. So there's USA, and then you can like rotate them for Australia. So you swivel it for Australia. We'll see how this works. I thought this was going to be nicer than it is. I'm not as impressed as I thought I would be. So I don't like the switch on the side. They should have made that more positive. That's really crappy. But it allows you to plug your American stuff into it when you get over there. So if we bring anything with us that's American, I can plug it in. So there's those two things. Put this away. Come on, stickers. Let's see, what else have I not shown you guys? I got a little shovel, survival shovel for Christmas. One of those. I'm sure you guys have, if you've ever seen them reviewed before, then you've seen them. It's a little cheap survival shovel. Comes with a breaker inside the handle. Let's see, there's another handle here. So all the handles, screw together to make the shovel longer. And like I said, I'm not going to do a full review. If you've seen one of these, you've seen all of them. It did come with a saw. Cheap little saw. I thought it came with a flint, but I don't know which handle that would be in. Is there anything in here? Yeah, so there's a screwdriver here, and if you pull it out, it's a flathead on the other side. There's a compass on the bottom, which who knows how well that works, and I believe there's a flint on the inside here. So I just, when you're kind of hard to shop for like I am, I thought these were cool presents. I'll take this with me when I'm out pretending to survive somewhere. And so that's that as far as the survival shovel goes. And like I said, if you've seen the videos before, they've got like a serrated blade on them, and they're all kinds of nifty. If I could get this packed away here. And then let's see, I got a couple more things. Bushnell goggles. So I've been wanting to have a nice pair of goggles for a while. I had a nicer pair, what I would consider nice, like right at $100. And I had some people pitch in for a Christmas present, and I pitched in like $60, and I got a $160 pair of Bushnells. Amazon was the place I got them. They're actually super rad. They're super clear, don't have any problem with the optics. They also, what I like about them is I can see with my glasses on. I can take this off and use my glasses. The diopter, I have a slight stigma, so that's a fixed diopter ring. When you pull it down, you can't change the diopter. And they're great. It's been a while since I've had a pair of binoculars, so these are really nice. They're not obviously top of the line, but I'm not an avid binocular user, but I definitely do use them when I'm hiking or camping. So anyways, got these. Are great. These are the, let's see, do they have they're the Legends series, and I don't remember exactly what one they are, but they've got rain guard on them and some decent glass supposedly, so I didn't take the sticker off. And it left residue. Anyways, let's see, do I have anything else? Do you guys, you're still recording? Alright, so I told you guys about the binoculars. Man, that sticker really did a number to them. All right. Alright, so last but not least, we'll just move this out of the road here. Get this video finished up. I'm not sure if I talked about the book. It's basically a book on how to use a steel square. It's an entire volume 1 and 2. It's an old book from, let's see if it says when, 1903. And it's called A Practical Treatise, I'm sure I mispronounced that, on the steel square and its application to everyday use. And so it's a whole book on how to use a steel square. If you guys are, kind of geek type person, or maybe not, maybe you're just interested in how to use a steel square, I'm sure it's going to be a great read. And then last but not least, I'm going to do a series of videos on how to do a DIY buffing station for some four-wheeler parts I want to buff up. And so right now I have the, these are the pillow block bearings to support this shaft. This is a 4-foot shaft I got off of either Amazon or McMaster Car. I believe I got these pillow blocks off of Amazon, and then I got stop collars for the same thing. So I'm going to use these to keep the shaft from drifting. I got to get a motor and some pulleys yet, and that's a project that's a little ways out. Not too far out, but it's a little ways out. So, and then, I don't know, you guys probably don't care about the toaster oven, but our toaster oven, after years of use, has finally gone bad. So again, I went on Amazon and looked for different rated brands, and supposedly this Cuisinart's a pretty good brand. I wanted something that would fit not just toast but bagels. Supposedly this one does. So let's see here real quick. We'll just pull this out, have a quick look at it. This is the first time I've seen it too. Come on out of there. And I got some other stuff, things I'm not going to show you guys. I got a buzzer system that I'm making for when I need to check paint on cars, because I always forget and wait too long. So I'm going to come up with a buzzer that's on the wall that I can set. It's nice and loud. But let's see here. Yeah, so this is supposed to be a cool toaster, and it's got buttons for bagels and reheating waffles when I make them, and it's a pretty straightforward looking machine. So it looks wide enough to fit bagels just fine. So that's kind of it, guys. I think that's a wrap on my haul of parts here. You may or may not find this video interesting. If you don't, you don't. Actually, I'm gonna start over. I almost said something nasty. I gotta finish that over. Hold on. So I hope you guys find this video interesting. It's not one of my typical videos. I'll probably do more of them because I'm gonna start getting different stuff in for different projects, and maybe key you guys in on what's coming up. But I still got to finish the video on the second half of the BMW EGR cleaner, and I've got some other videos I want to wrap up. Like I've still got to put the man door in the shed. I'm hoping to get that done sometime by spring, and some other stuff. So I hope things open up for me, guys. I hope I don't have to do so much drafting, and I can actually start doing more CAD videos. I recently got demonetized because I don't have enough subscribers, so I know if I keep growing the channel that I'll get above their threshold, and I'll be back to doing I'll be back to making a little bit of cash each month to pay some bills. And so talk to you guys next time. Bye.